Okay, let's talk about the opposite of American decline. So this episode will be released, I think, on December 7th, 2021.
If you say it, they have to put it on December 7th.
December 7th.
This episode was released on December 7th, 2021.
This episode brought to you by the number December 7th.
Yes, 12/7.
What else happened on December 7th?
The bombing of Hiroshima, no? No?
Close.
Pearl
You're
Harbor?
the
Pearl
other
Harbor.
bookend.
Yeah,
Harbor.
the first one. Yeah,
Right,
Pearl
right.
Harbor.
Right, the day that will live on in infamy. December 7th, 1941. Okay. So
Infamy.
we have to talk about that. 80th anniversary of the
Yeah.
beginning of World War II.
Let's talk about World War II.
I am a millennial.
I'm a millennial.
We are millennials.
What were you gonna call me?
Well, you might be younger than you are younger than me.
But not that young, friend.
Okay. Well,
I remember 9/11. I was present. I was conscious.
I was worried you thought that I was going to call you a boomer or something.
I mean, you could. I would question many a thing. Not boomer.
Yeah.
Give the close up of the nails. This is proof I am not a boomer.
Don't give the close up of the jeans because it's proof that he is a
Yeah,
boomer.
the jeans. They're Levi's. They're made in America.
Right. Great
American
picture.
decline.
Okay. Okay. So 80th anniversary of World War II. Our generation, the generations that preceded us, the boomers, the generations who fought in the damn war, we were raised to understand that World War II was the seminal event in American history, the great triumph of democracy. It sowed the seeds for the civil rights movement with the segregated armed forces, post-war America, consumer culture. Every goddamn story that we've been hearing about for the last 80 years began in World War II. I don't know that that's going to be the case. So as we talk about 80 years since World War II, my question to you is, you turn on the TV and it seems like the civil rights movement is kind of the great kind of heroic moment in American history now. Not throwing shade on that. I'm just saying like history goes in and out of style the way jeans and nail paint jobs do. So when we're sitting here on this show 20 years from now with grayer hair and less of it, will World War II still be the seminal event? Will they still be teaching kids that? Or do you think something will displace that in the near future?
Well, I would sort of reckon with the fact that like maybe it already isn't the seminal event.
Right.
I would think that it already maybe we're done with that. I do think, of course, we'll continue to teach World War II because it is a morality lesson. It is a globalist lesson.
Right.
I think it's also interesting, and I would say maybe in 20 years we'll do a better job of teaching about the travesty that was dropping the bombs in Japan. I think that will be a major twist. At least when I was growing up as a millennial, like we talked about it and there was a moment of like, this was a bad thing that we did, but like, it wasn't like, we didn't really own it.
Yeah.
So I would say that those will change. But yeah, I don't think that World War II will be the seminal event of our time.
Well,
because it will not have been for these people or their parents.
Or anyone.
Or anyone.
I mean, it's like one of the things that drives me crazy about World War II as it's depicted now when people, like, it's not like a fairy tale. It's not a spaghetti western. Like, it was just a horrible, just brutal, awful thing that happened in the world and required millions of people to pay with their lives. And, now it's just that Wikipedia line of, America hero, Nazis bad, win. Like, that's it. That's it. And it was just, it makes me sad when history gets condensed to a single log line.
But that's sort of,
that's what happens.
That's what happens. That's how history works.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, so if World War II isn't like, maybe you can put a bet on this. So
sure.
if it's not World War II, then like, what is it?
Oof, that's dark, bro. That's dark. This is gonna get dark fast. I think I'm gonna turn to camera.
Yeah.
The worst is yet to come. The worst is yet to come. I think the next 15 years we'll see an event that will define the next century.
What about a pandemic?
A pandemic is equally hot.
Right.
Equally
hot zone.
Impressive, if you will. I think there will be a moment about the last 5 years in general.
Yeah.
I think the way that America is moving, I think that the inherent division, I think we'll see. I do think if we continue to have a lot of doubt if we have a continued side eye for this one, if we continue to have a lot of doubt about our political process and the legitimacy of our political process, that will become the story. I think if we start to doubt everything, then we will not be able to come back from that. And that will overshadow war. War will not matter anymore.
Well, if you look at why wars matter, like, they matter because things change a lot faster than they would if culture wasn't on such insane pressure of like mortal consequences. And I think the pandemic has done that. I think that I think we're going to be fucked up in our brains from sort of accepting death and injury and loss as sort of par. I already am. Maybe you aren't.
I am. I am.
But
am.
how much is technology? How much is the way we live our lives? What we think about how the world is organized? Our skepticism that you alluded to towards our own way of life.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it has changed in precisely the way that it did in the Second World War, and God knows what's going to come next.
Right. That's the other thing is that since the pandemic isn't over,
right?
We're gonna say it's not over. Asking you out there, it's not over, right?
Yeah.
We're still here.
You tell me.
It's one of those things of like, I wonder if we continue to be in this continual COVID spiral for the next few years until the next pandemic comes.
Yeah.
Then yes, the word pandemic, whatever disease aside, will be the defining thing in the way that world wars were the defining thing for generations before ours.
Right. Or hot take. Panic industrial complex, permanent, like the military industrial complex that never went away after the war.
Right.
I
mean, also hot take the environment.
Public health and
the environment. I mean, the oncoming environmental refugee crisis that we will be dealing with, maybe not us personally, but that Asia will be dealing with, will be very intense.
We can do something separate about this. I think that stuff's oversold. But all right, can I try?
That's his bet.
Yeah.
He wrote it. That was his bet that he thought it was oversold. So again, when we're here with less hair and it's gray, we'll be able to discuss that.
I'll let you know if we have to wear our ducky boots in from Santa Monica.